Not very often I have to move the mic up.
I'm sorry.
There comes a time in a man's life when he meets his soulmate, his one true love, who will love and cherish him unconditionally for the rest of his life. For Matthew, this moment came in September 2015 when he met me. For those of you who don't know me, I'm David Spence, I'm the best man, and I'm very honored to be here today to stand beside my best friend Matthew and his beautiful wife Ellen. I'd like to begin by thanking our incredible hosts, Will and Fiona.
Right here.
Fiona, you're looking fabulous as always. And Will, you know I'm coming for those forehead kisses tonight, so get ready, buddy. I'm looking forward to getting to know Ian and Leanne as well, and many bags of PEI potatoes in my future. You know, after that perfect autumn day in September of 2015, Matthew and I spent 4 blissful years together. Road trips, gym sessions, many late nights studying at the Mount A Library, and bemoaning spending the best years of our lives stuck in small town New Brunswick. Well, apparently, I wasn't enough for Matthew. Because he had to go and find himself a wife. When Ellen came along in 2019, I knew that my monogamous relationship with Matthew was coming to a close. And how could it not? I mean, look at her, she's beautiful. Can we get a round of applause for the bride? By now, you've all heard the story about Maddie and Ellen meeting at the bus stop in Halifax. But what you haven't heard is the story of how I picked up Matthew at Mount Allison's Mala UN Club. It's true. Long before Ellen came into Maddie's life, from the time I met Matthew, I was on a mission to make him my best friend. I made sure to bring him coffee at every Model UN meeting, shamelessly hit on him whenever possible, visited him in Vancouver during my first trip to the West Coast, and messaged him incessantly on Facebook. I know, romantic, right? I knew my seduction of Matthew had been successful when, in the summer of 2018, while Maddie was working in DC, and I came down to visit him for the weekend, he took a bunch of us out to a local nightclub for some drinks and dancing. As usual, while Maddie was busting a move on the dance floor, surrounded by his friends and having a great time, I was realizing pretty quickly that I was too old for such shenanigans. And I informed Maddie that I was gonna leave the club and head back to his place. Apparently, he took this development very seriously, or at least was under the impression that I was quite upset, because he immediately began frantically fighting his way through the crowd, pushing people aside and reaching for my shoulder in an attempt to stop me from leaving the club. All the while yelling, "You're my best bud, David, you're my best bud." Now, ultimately, Maddie wasn't able to prevent me from leaving the club and going to bed early that night, but it didn't matter. My goal of making him my best bud was complete. Now, Ellen, admittedly, I was initially a little distrustful when a new woman entered Maddie's life a few years ago. But in our competition for Matthew's attention and affection, you have proven to be a worthy adversary. In fact, it may appear that you've won this little But, truth be told, I very much enjoyed getting to know you and spending time together as we've baked pies, ran through the forest, planned surprises for, and pulled pranks on Matthew. Now, apparently, a couple of years ago, there was a conversation between Maddie and Ellen in which she looked at him lovingly and said, "Matthew, you're my best bud." To which Maddie turned to her and said apologetically, "I'm sorry, Ellen. David's my best bud." So, this being said, I'm prepared to be the bigger man. Some might say, the best man. And extend an olive branch of peace. So Ellen, from this day forward, I am happy to be your best bud in-law. Maddie, you come from an incredible family, and I can't express how highly I think of your parents and brothers. You really set the bar high for the rest of us. You've accomplished everything you've set your mind to, graduating from Mount Allison, getting into law school, hell, beating cancer. And I know you'll give your all to this marriage like you do with everything else. I know I promised that I was going to roast you in this speech, but when I sat down to start writing it, all I could think of was how proud I am to be your friend. It was an honor to cross the stage with you at Mount Allison, to be here today in front of your friends and family, and to be your best man. You're a brother to me, and I couldn't be happier for you. I love you, man. Now, I'd like us all to raise our glasses in a toast to the bride and groom. Congrats, Maddie and Ellen.